Hello everyone, it's Tsuki. Hi! You caught my last video, you probably know that I am very sick, and I still am very sick, but at the very least, my toothache is gone. So, I'm actually just kind of going around gathering stuff to craft, kind of in preparation for patch 6.05, which is going to introduce Savage, but also going to introduce the new master recipes. And I'm trying to be on top of things this time around. Like, I got super into crafting back in Shadowbringers, but that wasn't really until maybe a couple months in, and by that time kind of missed the first wave of master recipes and all that. But this time, I'm on top of things. Like, I got all of my crafters and gatherers leveled. I am trying my best to get in on this. So right now I'm just kind of in the process of getting a bunch of scripts and materia so I can do my big boy melds, my big boy penta melds, because right now I just kind of have whatever slotted into all 5 slots so I can spirit bond faster. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I figured, well, it's not really a whole lot going on, but I can try and talk and see how my throat does for long periods of time, because I don't know, there's this anxiety I feel when I've spent so long procrastinating getting into content for Endwalker, and I just kind of wanted to start somewhere, you know. Sometimes you just need to push yourself to start. Something small, but might as well, you know. That's kind of my reasoning. Actually gonna head to Garlemald in a little bit, I think, for one of the notes I want. Oh, I should also mention that spoilers for some of the zones, I guess. I'm not gonna be talking about the story or what happens, but I'm gonna be teleporting around probably, so I guess if you don't want to be spoiled about zones if you haven't finished the story yet, it's been like a month, but you know, sometimes it takes a while, especially with the queues. But yeah, just kind of beware, I guess. So yeah, what to even talk about? Again, I just figured I'd start recording and start talking, but I didn't actually have a plan on what I wanted to do or talk about. So that's where we are, baby. Hell yeah. I'll cut out any dead time. Like, if there's any time I stop talking, I'll probably just cut it out. Or I won't, because I'm lazy as hell, and that requires me to actually go in and find all the times where I wasn't talking. It's actually not that hard to find, actually. Well, sometimes it is, because there's background music, but you can usually tell if you just look at the sound file, I guess, in editing software. It's pretty easy to tell sometimes. I don't know. I'm just whatever. We'll wait until my GP gets up a little bit. But you know what? We'll talk about my impressions and my experience with Endwalker so far, since it's been about a month, like I said, and I haven't really had an opportunity to really sit down and talk about it. But might as well, right? So, actually, initially, when I was leading up to Endwalker's early access launch, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stream, just like I streamed Shadowbringers early access launch, which was a lot of fun, by the way. I really enjoyed that stream. I leveled dancers from 60 to 70 in about 12 hours, just kind of streaming and doing dungeons and stuff. It was a lot of fun. We had a couple of FC members come in and help out with the leveling process as well. It was nice. And I kind of considered doing that again, but picking up Reaper or Sage and doing it that way. But I kind of decided against it, just because I just kind of wanted to enjoy Endwalker a bit on my own. And good thing too, because oh boy, I spent the first couple hours of early access actually just just trying to get into the into the game, which I feel was a lot of people's experience probably. And it wasn't actually the queue that was the problem, it was the lobby. I kept DCing as soon as I tried to log on to, I guess, my data center, and it kept kicking me for an hour. And I finally got into queue, and then I had to wait in queue after that point. So yeah, that's kind of what I was dealing with the first couple hours, and it wouldn't have been a very fun stream, I can assure you. It would have been a very frustrating stream. It was happening to a lot of people. Some people got really lucky. Like one of my free company members got in like immediately, like within like 10 minutes. And then but then they DC'd later on in the day, so they had to sit in queue anyway, so haha. Yeah, but that was not a fun experience. And I guess we should really talk about that first, right? The queue system. The queues. Oh boy, the queue. Well, there's a lot of people here for some reason. There must be an S rank or something in one of the other instances. I don't really care. I haven't done much hunts yet, and I don't know. I mean, it's a good source for materia, battle materia, which I don't have a lot of, and it's actually quite expensive. It's about 40 to 50k for grade 10s, and I don't even know what grade 9s are going for, but I'm gonna need a lot of it for the patch day, and I don't know, I'm probably just gonna have to buy it. But the queues don't really upset me, if I'm being completely honest, because I totally expected it to happen, and it was well within my expectations on how the queue system was gonna be. What wasn't within my expectations was getting kicked in the middle of the queue and then having to start at the back of the line. That really sucked, but to be fair, that's only happened to me like once, and it only maybe set me back maybe like half an hour's worth of queue, so it wasn't really that bad. But I know it's happened to a lot of people several times, although lately it's been happening a lot less, so they probably fixed some of it, which is good. They've been doing actually a pretty decent job, I think, at sort of addressing any sort of bugs and stuff that's been happening. Speaking of bugs, one of the main reasons why I wasn't recording at the start of Endwalker was actually because I was having a really annoying bug occurring. I don't even really know how to describe it either. This is really annoying, hearing this little crystal sound. I'm just gonna land. But I don't even know how to how do I describe this? I don't even know what caused it too, is the thing, and I'm not even sure if it was like, I'm mostly positive it had to do with Endwalker, because it didn't happen to any of the other things I was doing on my PC, so I don't think it was my PC. But it would like skip, and it's not like lag. Like, I know what lag feels like, and the servers are still laggy from time to time even now, but it certainly wasn't lag. It was like, I don't know, maybe it had something to do with my controller as well, but from what I read online, it was maybe a DirectX 11 issue, because people had similar problems, but not like the exact same problems, at least not the way that they worded it. But what would happen is be like, the game would freeze, but for just me. Like, everyone else would be moving just fine, but like my controller inputs would stop working, the sound would cut out for like half a second, all the music and sound effects would just cut out, I'd be frozen because my controller wasn't working, which made me think, well, maybe it's just my controller being like, you know, an asshole, because my controller's been doing that for a long time. I don't really know. But basically, when I would record while doing that, it would also mess up the sound in my recording, to the point where every time it happened, the sound got out of sync, to the point where once it happened a few times, the sound was out of sync by like a couple seconds, and it was completely unwatchable. You wouldn't have wanted to see it. I still have some of that footage, and I could probably use it as background footage maybe. But yeah, so that was happening, and I didn't know what caused it, so I didn't know what could fix it. But as time went on, it just kind of stopped happening. Like, it started happening less frequently, and after about 2 weeks after early access, it kind of started being, I guess, contained to like maybe the first half hour of when I would log on. And then as time would go on, to now, it just stopped happening. Like, maybe it happens like every now and then, but it's not to the point where it's like a huge issue. So hopefully it doesn't happen and my audio doesn't come out of sync. But yeah, that was really annoying. It made a lot of my footage just completely, the audio was completely messed up. It was really frustrating. I just didn't want to deal with it, so I didn't bother recording a lot of stuff, which is really unfortunate, because there's so many cool things I wanted to record my reaction to, and it just completely ruined. by that bug, and I don't know, maybe it was DirectX 11 issue, maybe it was just my computer, maybe it was my controller, I don't really know. All I know is that for some reason it stopped happening, thank goodness. So, or at least it's happening very occasionally, that it's something that I'm willing to take the risk on and record. Although maybe with that in mind, I should start recording in chunks and then just kind of stitching it all together. That way, in case the audio does go out of sync, I can just kind of get a reset on things. Usually when I do commentary long plays like this, I'll just record like 2-3 hours, however long I want to record, and then just kind of go from there. Sometimes I'll just put it up raw because I am lazy. But sometimes I'll actually go in and cut out some of the downtime where things aren't happening or I'm just waiting in queue and stuff. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to do any content in the first, like, few weeks of Endwalker. The other reason was freaking spoilers, man. Holy shit. The first day of early access, literally, like, maybe, like, 9 hours after the servers went up, I was just in queue for something. You know, I was leveling Reaper. That was the first thing I did. I don't know why. I wasn't even really excited for Reaper that much, but the Reaper was the job that I decided to level from 70 to 80 first. And then I went through the actual expansion with it. That's a whole nother thing. I'll talk about Reaper later, but spoilers. Like seriously, like 8 or 9 hours after early access, I was just in queue. I decided to check up on things on YouTube, and literally just smack in my face, first trial, right in my face. Thanks, YouTube algorithm. And I hadn't gotten to that point yet, and I was very upset that got spoiled for me, because it would have been a really cool reveal if I didn't know beforehand that that was going to be the first trial. Very upset that happened, and I just, after that, I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to be on YouTube until I finish the story. And so I took my time and I finished the story, and I finished my story like, I think on Monday or Tuesday. I think it was the day before official launch happened, so it took me a few days, but I took my time and I really enjoyed the story. And yeah, so that's what I did. But mostly after finishing the story, the thing that kept me from really putting out content was, again, that weird skipping bug thing that I had, that hopefully is gone and will continue to cease to exist. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And then obviously, if you watch my last video, I got super sick right before this last big patch happened, where Pandemonium normal mode came out, because I figured, oh well, I'll start recording when Pandemonium normal mode comes out. But yeah, that ended up happening because I was really sick. So I got sick, and then a couple days after being sick, I got just a massive toothache. Like, it was so painful. I've never had a toothache be that painful, and it was so bad. Nothing I did worked to really help remedy the fact. Like, I took painkillers, took Tylenol, that didn't do shit. I was already taking cold medicine as well. That didn't help with it at all. I had like a glass of like salt water at my desk that I would, you know, rinse my mouth with, and it would kind of like take the edge off of the pain for, you know, maybe a few minutes at a time, but then it would just come right back anyway, and I hated doing it, and it was an awful time. The pain got so bad that it actually caused multiple problems for just my whole face, because like the toothache was in like the left side of my mouth, in the bottom row of my teeth, I guess, kind of like in the back, and it would like, the pain sort of like ached across my face, so it would go up like past my cheek to like my temple, the left side of my temple, and huge headache on the left side of my forehead. So that was great. And then also it would go downwards, like through my jaw into my throat, on top of the fact that I already had a sore throat from having a cold. And so my throat was super sore, and it felt like my jaw was just super tired. Like, you know how like maybe you like eat like super chewy food or something, right? And then your jaw kind of gets tired from eating. Yeah, that was what it felt like. Like I'd just been chewing something super chewy non-stop for hours, and it just it felt horrible. It was really weird. I didn't like it. I did. It was really bad. So yeah, I was in a lot of pain, and it really sucked. And I couldn't see my dentist for a while because it was right before Christmas happened, right? So, and the Christmas appointments just completely booked. But the toothache went away. I did also go to see my dentist. So, and so many problems with my mouth that I'm going to need to get fixed. But at the very least, my toothache is subsided and it's gone. So, I still have a lot of problems that I need to take care of with my dentist, but at the very least the pain is gone. So that's nice. Yeah, so that sucks, but at least the toothache's gone. I'm still sick, but it's like whatever. I get sick so often. I've had a lot of health problems since I've been younger, and I've had a pretty major health problem not too long ago. And so I just get sick a lot, and it sucks, but it's just kind of a normal part of life for me, especially around this time, winter time, where I live. So it's colder, and I just get sick more often. It has nothing to do with the big C. Again, I don't want to say it in case YouTube comes after me and my next of kin, but yeah, it's not that. It's just a normal cold. So that's good. I mean, it's not good, but it's at least it's not the other thing, you know? And so yeah, that's kind of what delayed me with Endwalker a bit. And it really sucks because I really wanted to get into Endwalker content like right away, but just a bunch of stuff happened on top of the fact that I just like procrastinating a lot. So I guess we're just gonna have to hit the ground running now, which is kind of a weird time to start, but hey, whatever. You gotta start somewhere, even if it's late, right? So you just gotta kind of keep going. You know, I've kind of been really bad lately about making YouTube stuff, but I want to fix that. New Year's resolution. I feel like this is my New Year's resolution last year, and it didn't pan out, but this time I'm gonna be serious. But yeah, is there anything else I want to talk about with Endwalker? Not really. I guess, like I said before, my experience with Endwalker is kind of weird because I kind of on the fly decided I was just gonna level Reaper from 70 to 80, and then I ended up taking Reaper with me through the main story, which is kind of a weird choice because I don't know if I'm gonna make a full video on Reaper. Like, I feel like I have a lot to say about the healers and physical range DPS to make videos about them, but as far as Reaper goes, I don't really have enough to say to make a whole video about it, so I just put it in here. I enjoy Reaper. Like, it's fine. It's fun. I don't think it's my favorite melee DPS, but again, I haven't played all of the other four at max level to really have a solid say in that, but I feel like I'd probably like Dragoon and Samurai more. Monk is kind of up in the air for me whether or not I'll like that. It's very different, and I'm looking forward to trying it, but it just hasn't been a high priority for me. And then Ninja, I honestly haven't really enjoyed Ninja that much since Heavensward. Like, I didn't really care for Stormblood Ninja. Shadowbringers Ninja, it was okay. I played it occasionally just because it was a nice little distraction, and I had the gear from it left over from all the aiming gear I was getting for my physical range, so that's usually why I play Ninja, but I haven't really enjoyed it that much since Heavensward. There's a free company member, Mitzi. She likes playing Ninja, although she says that she doesn't really enjoy it. Apparently there's some problems with how clunky it feels, so maybe a lot of things will get addressed with the Savage patch. I believe Savage patch, which will be 6.05, the Savage patch for each expansion is usually when they do the first sort of balancing pass, and they'll change things based on like feedback and stuff, so we'll see what ends up happening with Ninja. But as far as Reaper goes, fun. Not really much else to say about it. Honestly, the animations for Reaper I thought were going to be a lot cooler than they actually were, and they are cool, but it doesn't feel like they're as weighty. I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing, and that's totally like preference sort of thing. Like, some people won't care at all about that, but I don't know, it just felt like Reaper was more floaty and lightweight than I was expecting it to be. I thought it was gonna feel a lot more impactful, kind of like how Dragoon feels actually, in some of its animations. But for the most part, Reaper felt very weighty, which maybe actually that makes more sense because you'd figure using a scythe you'd have to have quite a bit of finesse, you know. So I don't know. But as far as how the job plays, it's fine. You know, it's I caught on very quickly. The thing about Reaper is that rotationally, it's not that difficult to play, I don't think. I think the thing that's gonna trip up, that definitely tripped up me, I guess, when I was playing Reaper, especially at max level, was the fact that it's very easy to accidentally overcap your currencies, because you have so many currencies on Reaper. God, this is so annoying. I usually have my sound effects off when I'm gathering, but holy shit. Let's just get away from that for a little bit. Here's my Reaper. I don't have any of the EX gear on it because I haven't bothered really. But I guess the thing about Reaper is that there's so many currencies to keep track of, right? Because you have, I don't even know, what are these called again? You have the Shroud gauge and the Void gauge, right? So you have your red gauge and the blue gauge basically, and red gauge kind of goes up when you're doing attacks and also when you use Soul Slice. So that makes it go up, and then the blue gauge goes up when you use these two, which you get from like Bloodstock, right? Soul Reaver, yeah, Soul Reavers. So there's like so many things to juggle because you have your red gauge, you have your blue gauge. Red gauge is used to use abilities. Blue gauge is used to go into your enshroud, so you have the Reaper take over you, or the Avatar take over you, and you can start doing that phase. But then you also have Soul Reaver, which needs to be used immediately after you get it, which is kind of weird. I don't know if I like that, honestly. It feels very restrictive. Like, for the most part, it's fine. It's just if you forget, if you're just kind of absentmindedly doing the pressing things, you might forget that, oh yeah, you have to use your Soul Reaver GCD immediately after getting it, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, so you have the red gauge, you have the blue gauge, you have Soul Reaver, then you have Lemur, and then it's just like, and then while you're enshrouded, you can't use Soul Slice. So if you accidentally cap on Soul Slice charges while you're enshrouded, you're just kind of sitting and wasting that, and then it starts to drift. And also, Plentiful Harvest will give you 50 Shroud gauge, which is the blue gauge. So if you accidentally have too much blue gauge when you have Plentiful Harvest up, and then you use it, then you just wasted a bunch of blue gauge. But then if you're trying to get rid of it, then you have to enshroud. But then sometimes you forget that you had to use some Soul Slice, because now that's gonna cap, and then it's just like, it just snowballs. So there's a lot of different, I guess, currencies to keep track of Reaper, which I think is where most of the difficulty comes in. Because as far as a rotation goes, Reaper's rotation is fairly simple, I think. Like, there isn't a whole lot. It's very flexible as well. Like, missing a certain GCD here or there isn't going to make or break your rotation or anything. But yeah, it's fine. It's fun. I honestly, I don't know. It feels like Reaper's maybe overperforming or Samurai is underperforming. But then again, it's like, it's really early days, so it's kind of hard to tell, right? And the thing is, there's way more Reapers out there because it's new, right? It's the new job. So there's a lot of people playing it. And so there's a bigger sample sizes of people playing Reaper. So there's more good Reapers out there than there are Samurai, I guess. I don't know. Is that how statistics work? But yeah, so it feels like Reaper is like really good. On top of, like, Reaper has some really insane stuff as well, like compared to Samurai, like for its damage. Because first off, they have Arcane Circle, which is just 3% damage for everyone for 20 seconds once every 2 minutes, which is pretty nice. A nice sizable buff. I mean, Dancer has Technical Step once every 2 minutes, and that's only 5%, right? So that's 3% on a Reaper. Dancer's only 2% more than that, and Dancer's personal DPS is significantly lower. Granted, Dancers also have, you know, dance partner and devilment to give to someone, but still, like, that's pretty insane. 3% for 20 seconds every 2 minutes is yeah, that's pretty good. And then another underrated kind of ability on Reaper is Arcane Crest, which is so good once you get the trait at 84. Basically, whenever it's kind of like Third Eye on Samurai, except that when Arcane Crest breaks, rather than just giving you kind of like more DPS like it is on Samurai, they got rid of Starry Eyes on Samurai, and now it just gives you more Kenki, which is fine, I guess. Whatever. But rather than just increasing your personal DPS, what Arcane or Crest of Borrowed Time is that what it's called? Dang, I just I'm on Lame Reaper right now because I need to gather stuff right now, but when it breaks, it actually puts a regen on the whole party, or I guess it's not on the whole party, everyone around you within a radius, you know. It's a pretty sizable heal. I think it's what, 100 potency for 15 seconds, so that's a 500 potency heal AoE for free, basically, just for getting hit, which is really nice, and not enough Reapers use it, I've noticed. I've been healing quite a bit, and more Reapers should use that. It is really, really good and super easy to use. Literally, anytime you're going to take damage from an AoE, use it, and it'll help out your healers a lot. Lancer's actually got kind of a similar thing as well with improvisation. But hold on, let me switch back to Reaper. What is it called? It is called Arcane Crest, right? Crest of Borrowed Time is the actual buff, I guess it gives you. But when that breaks, let's see, it's yeah, 100 potency for 15 seconds. I just realized that my chat blocker is completely blocking this. I forget that it shows up. But yeah, yeah, so it's a 10% barrier for 5 seconds, but when it breaks, 15 Yalm heal, 100 potency, 15 seconds, which is really nice. And actually, Dancer's got something similar. I'm probably gonna make an own dedicated video for talking about range DPS and healers, but we got also improvisation changed. So now that it actually puts a regen on people as well, and also if you channel it, you can get like an HP barrier, I guess, for however long you channel it. I've noticed a lot of dancers also don't take advantage of improvisation. Like, it's only once every 2 minutes, which isn't a whole lot of times you can use this, but you can use this in a similar fashion to how Astrologians just use collective unconscious, where just in between GCDs, you just pop this. Like, make sure you're standing next to the tank in large pulls, or on your party during party-wide damage, and just use this in between GCDs, and that'll be long enough to put the regen on everyone. More dancers should do that, because it is very helpful. Like, the barrier is nice, but it's not really necessary. I mean, if it's like one of those moments where like the boss is untargetable doing their big attack, which happens in one of the trials. I don't know if it happens in the first trial EX I'm talking about. Does it happen in the first trial EX? I'm not going to say the names again in case you haven't finished the story, but in terms of chronological order, the first trial EX, I don't know, because I know there's a moment where like the boss will stop and start casting a move, but it isn't like an ultimate. No, there is a moment. Yeah, there is, right after ads. So yeah, there are moments for you to do that and put the barrier up, but the barrier's like, it doesn't matter as much as the regen, in my opinion. Definitely for big pulls as well. It's really helpful for healers, as someone who has been healing a lot of big pulls, especially in leveling dungeons, which you should have this for all the leveling dungeons because it's level 80. Really nice. But yeah, we kind of got off topic, but it feels like Reaper's maybe overperforming it just a little bit, and I wonder if they're gonna either nerf Reaper or just buff Samurai a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's really, again, it's too early to tell, and I'm not. I mean, all I'm doing is like looking at how they're performing in my parses and looking at FF logs, and again, it's like, it's early days, so who really knows how things are performing, and I'm sure if it needs to be adjusted, they'll adjust it, hopefully. balance was pretty good in Shadowbringers. Like I know in Stormblood, like Samurai started off in a really good place, and then everything else kind of got buffed, but Samurai stayed put to the point where Samurai's edge in terms of being a like higher DPS than everyone else kind of got lost. I mean, it was still a decent job, but its like personal performance just wasn't up to snuff for what it should have been doing. And that kind of stayed the same for a large portion of Stormblood, which is unfortunate. But in terms of balance and Shadowbringers, I think they did a decent enough job. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I'm going to put this back up, by the way. Okay, I took a little break. Go eat a little something, give my throat a little bit of break. But while I was on break, I remembered some stuff I wanted to talk about. So, again, I'm not going to get into specifics about the story or anything. But just general thoughts. I enjoyed it. I still need some time to mull it over, and I kind of want to go through it a second time on Luana. I'm actually putting off doing Luana right now, actually. Just because I wanted to focus a bit on my main character and sort of do that first, so I wanted to get what I wanted to get leveled. You know, I had to get all my crafters and gatherers leveled, which was pretty fast. Gearing them is what's taking a while. I mean, I have the gear, it's just, you know, getting all the high-end melds and all that stuff right now. I just have them melded with whatever, so I spirit bound them faster. But I need to get those melded up for 6.05. I wanted to finish leveling up some of my my battle jobs as well. Like, there's a couple healers I still need to level up, I think. So I just wanted to focus on my main character, so I did actually start doing her. But playing alts is really hard right now because of the queue time, so it's really only fast to, oh god, I can't do this. Thank god, okay. It's really only fast to switch between characters, like, in the middle of the night, or late at night. Like, actually right now, it's about 9:40 p.m. PST. In about an hour or two, queue times will actually go down to about where they were pre-launch, so that, you know, it will only take like a minute or two. But yeah, so I did start her. I got her past like the first dungeon, and that's about as far as I've gotten on that. But eventually, I'll get to working on her. It'll be much easier to catch up later on anyway. Like right now, all the stuff you can actually get, it doesn't really matter because crafted gear is gonna come out anyway, and it's gonna be better than what you can get right now. So, and there's not even, you can't even get the crafted, or not crafted, the capped tombstone yet until next week, so. No rush, no rush. I'm just gonna focus most of my stuff on my main character for the time being. What's that 8? Oh, Fafnir, that's right. But, shit, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, story. I enjoyed the story, but, just first impressions, I feel like I enjoyed Shadowbringers better. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people really enjoy Endwalker's story. And I'm not saying Endwalker's story is bad by any stretch of the means, but I feel like it's kind of a preference thing, because Endwalker's story and Shadowbringers' story is kind of structured a bit differently. And again, without really any spoiling anything, I feel like the thing about Endwalker's story that I didn't like as much as Shadowbringers' story is what other people might like, which is kind of weird. Cause it feels like with Endwalker's story, it's very unpredictable. Like, things will happen, and it's not very clear what happens next. Whereas with Shadowbringers, it's very clear. Like, you had a very clear end goal, and pretty much everything you did was just reuniting with your allies, getting them on board, and preparing to reach that end goal. And then in the background was another thing that was happening that ends up kind of proceeding after you reach that end goal to sort of another new finale. But all of Endwalker is like that thing in the background that eventually proceeds, but it's just a constant cycle of that. I don't know how to really explain it, but I hope that kind of makes sense. Like with Shadowbringers, like there's this one end goal, you know, it's like take down the Light Wardens, bring back the Night Sky, and do this. But then there's one thing in the background that's just kind of been slowly brewing, and then it kind of boils up, and then once you think you're done, new problem arises from that thing that was in the background. That feels like what Endwalker's story is, just constantly. Like every arc, it's just, well then this thing happens. Well then this thing happens. And a lot of people might like that, but I actually enjoyed Shadowbringers' structure a little bit better, which is weird. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really gotten many people's opinions on it yet to really gauge whether or not my opinion is the popular or unpopular one, but just I like Shadowbringers a little bit better. In terms of launch content as well, I think I like Shadowbringers launch content much better than Endwalker's launch content. And again, that's not to say Endwalker's content is bad, it's just that slightly more enjoyable, in my opinion, was Shadowbringers launch content. Like, the two primals in Shadowbringers were way more fun, in my opinion. I mean, they're less story impactful, I guess, than the primals that we have. Well, I guess I shouldn't say primals, because technically they're not primals in Shadowbringers. I guess trials. The trials we have, or we had for Shadowbringers, were just more fun, in my opinion. Or at least one of them was. I mean, Innocence was kind of like a nothing sandwich, in my opinion. And one of the trials is kind of like that in Endwalker as well. But I think it's a little bit more engaging and more difficult than Innocence was. But I especially loved Titania. Like, Titania is probably one of my favorite EX trials ever, honestly. Like, she's up there with Sophia EX. I really like Sophia EX as well. I like the scale tipping mechanic, and there hasn't really been anything like that since, which I was really kind of hoping that they kind of bring that back at some point, but they haven't. That was a really fun and unique mechanic. And then Titania was just a lot of fun. I love the music and everything. In Titania, the trials we have, they're both really good and very story impactful, and I enjoy doing them. But I just feel like Titania was more fun. In terms of music, since we just touched upon it again, I feel like Shadowbringers was better. Just slightly. And again, it's not saying that Endwalker's music was bad. It's just that there's less music in Endwalker that I would go out of my way to listen to outside of the game. Like, there's a couple themes here and there. Like, everyone likes to reference the theme, Close in the Distance, from the last zone that happens, which is a fantastic song. I love that song. There's been some great covers of that song already that are really good. Like, whose cover did I listen to recently? It's kind of a smaller person, like they don't have a whole lot of subscribers. P-Leaf's cover of Closing the Distance, if you haven't listened to that, does an amazing cover of that. It's really, really good. But yeah, that's a great song. Just a couple themes, remixes or not, that are really good as well. And I guess that's kind of the problem with Endwalker as well, which is like it invokes a lot of nostalgia, but in doing so, there isn't a whole lot of room for new stuff when it comes to music. Like, a lot of music is just remixes of stuff we've already heard, which is kind of Final Fantasy XIV's thing, if we're being completely honest. But a lot of it is like harkening back to older expansions and stuff. So, and I mean, to be fair, like usually we get like a theme, you know, the Stormblood theme, the Heavensward theme, the Endwalker theme, the Shadowbringers theme, and then we get like at least like, you know, 5-6 renditions of that theme throughout the expansion and the subsequent patches for the expansion. So, you know, remixes are kind of Final Fantasy XIV's thing, but surprisingly not as many Endwalker remixes as I would have thought. Like, and I'm sure a lot of that will come later on as we kind of progress and get more stuff, but a lot of it was actually harkening back to older themes, older expansion themes, which was kind of nice, but also it's like we've heard them before, so it didn't feel as fresh, I guess. Which, I don't even know, like, it's kind of hypocritical because a lot of my favorite themes are like remixed themes, you know? But, yeah, I am looking forward to what Soken is able to put out, and some of the more original content as well. Like, the, one of the new themes in Pandemonium, like the Pandemonium 4 theme, I love that theme. That was a great theme. I love that music. It was really good. But, yeah, in terms of dungeon themes, not a big fan. I thought this actually, like, I listened to some of the dungeon themes that came out of the media tour back when that was happening, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And the final boss theme for, and I'm talking specifically about dungeons. I enjoy it. Like it's fine. It grew on me. I thought it was fine when I heard it back during the media tour, and I think it's fine now. I think it fits. But I feel like the dungeon theme for the first two bosses is it's fine, you know, but it's not my favorite. I actually want a different theme in there instead, which is actually the theme that plays during the Reaper trailer reveal. That theme. And also it plays a couple times throughout the story. Very sparsely placed throughout the story. It plays, I think, at the and maybe like the job end quests for Reaper and Sage as well. And it's also it's the first song in the job action trailer. That theme, that rendition of the Endwalker theme, I think is far superior than both the dungeon themes we have. I love that theme, and I wish that theme was actually one of the dungeon themes. You could have a different theme for each of the bosses. First boss, second boss, third boss. Every dungeon has 3 bosses. So I don't know. Kind of unfortunate that that theme doesn't see very much love, and yeah. I wish that theme was one of the dungeon themes, if I'm being completely honest. I like it far better than the 2 dungeon themes that we actually have right now. But, I mean, what can you do, right? I'm gonna go get some more gathered stuff. While we're on the topic of dungeons, actually, they made this change, and I'm not really a huge fan of the change. They changed it so that in dungeons, you only get EXP from bosses. You no longer get EXP from mob kills, like monster kills from, like, you know, the trash pulls. Which I thought was kind of a weird change. I don't know how I feel about that change, honestly. It's kind of a weird one. So, yeah, that was odd. I don't know how I feel about it, because on one hand, it's easier to keep track of, like, oh, this dungeon gives this much, when you only have to, you know, take into account 3 numbers. But also, it's like, it feels like you should be rewarded somewhat for killing the enemies inside the dungeon, not just the bosses. And also, it makes things like I know first room arm veil parties were a thing for leveling lower level, right? That was a thing that people did. You can't do that anymore. I mean, maybe you can do like first boss dungeon kills now for EXP, but I don't know how good that would be. So yeah, I don't know why they made that change, and it's just kind of a change that they made, and it's kind of weird. I don't know how I like that change, if I'm being completely honest. I am kind of landing more in the why'd you even change it in the first place kind of deal. But yeah, I don't know. Kind of an odd change in my opinion. Not sure why they bothered to do that, but I think, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Makes it feel like you're getting less EXP than you actually are, even though it probably all equates to about the same as long as you complete a dungeon. So I don't know, I guess there's really nothing too much to complain about. It just nerfs a couple niche methods of getting XP, I guess. What else is there to talk about? Great change also. Weapons for EX trials now drop 1 weapon and 1 weapon coffer on kill. I'm not sure if Savage is... Actually, Savage already does that. Savage just drops coffers, never mind. But for EX trials now, when dropping weapons, it'll drop 1 random weapon and a weapon coffer. And the weapon coffer works just like Savage coffers do, I guess. And that you roll on the coffer, everyone can roll neat on the coffer, and then you just open it on the job you want, and it'll give you that weapon for that particular job. Great change, because you're essentially getting 2 weapons per kill now, which is really, really nice. I like that change. And also, you still get 1 totem per clear as well, so if you just get massively unlucky rolling on both, you can just buy with your totems. Didn't do that for the accessory trial, because... at the start of every expansion, one of the trials drops weapons, one of the trials drops accessories. You get 4 accessories per clear, but there's no, like, accessory coffer. So, you just have to get lucky, or, I guess, spend your totems to get the accessories. And both of the EX trials this time around only drop 1. Which, I mean, I guess that's fine. Like, there was a couple of trials in Shadowbringers that dropped 2. And I think the reasoning behind why those dropped 2 was because they were longer trials. Like, it was Hades and Diamond Weapon, which Diamond Weapon wasn't that long, was it? I don't really know why Diamond Weapon dropped 2 totems. Because I mean Hades was definitely a longer fight, and there was like a big, like, if you died, you'd have to start all the way from the beginning. Even if you made it to like the second phase, there was no like checkpoint. Yeah, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, here's another thing that I remembered. I actually haven't, like, I forgot about this because it's not a big deal anymore. But 2 years from now, when the next expansion comes, I'm going to be upset about it again. And that is the goddamn Fenrir bike. Damn it! Why is this still a thing? For those of you who don't know, the Fenrir bike, Cloud's bike, you can get it on the Mock Station for like 30 bucks. But for some just asinine reason, the Fenrir bike moves faster on ground than every other mount in the game. And that is complete BS. It should not be like that. There should not be a single mount in the game, earnable in-game or paid with money otherwise, that should be faster than the rest of the mounts. Without, like mount speed and being able to fly should be tied to things that you unlock throughout the game. Like, there's riding maps for you to ride faster, that's fine. And then there's ether currents for you to unlock flying in the zone. That's also fine. But there shouldn't be a mount that just natively has the ability to move faster than the other ones for no freaking reason. And it's even made worse that it's a mount that you have to pay real money for. That's just, like, come on. And the thing is, this has been a known thing about the Fenrir bike for years. For years. Pretty much ever since the Fenrir bike was added into the game, this has been a thing. And the devs have done nothing to change it. I don't understand why. Because it's like, just like, are they just okay with the fact that there's just one mount that is technically better than all the rest of the mounts? Because that's crap. That shouldn't be an okay thing that any dev should be fine with, especially since it's a mount you pay for. That's wrong. That is completely wrong, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, if they don't have a problem with how fast the Fenrir bike mount is, then they should just buff the other mounts to be that fast from the get-go and get rid of riding maps. Because who the frick buys riding maps? No one. Because you just fly and it's faster that way anyway. So it's like, God, it annoys me to no end. Like, early access launch, I would just constantly, I'd be using the mounts I like because I like these mounts. And again, I have no problem with buying mounts. Like, I'm literally on a mount that I bought right now. Like, this is one of the mounts you can get on the Mock Station. It costs a lot of money. I think it's like $24 when it's not on sale. I have no problem with spending money on this game, buying optional items. I bought plenty for myself. I bought plenty for other people for giveaways and all that stuff. I have no problem with that. But I do have a problem. It's not fair that a mount should be better than all the other mounts for no reason. And it's made even worse that it's a mount that you have to actually pay for. I think that's crap, and it shouldn't be that way. And they should change this. 'Cause come on, it's been years. It's been years. You can change this. I don't know why it hasn't been changed. It's so frustrating. Like, I just be riding around on my mount, whatever mount that I want. I have Mount Roulette, and I have several mounts that I really like. Some of them I earn in game, some of them I made and bought, some of them I bought with real money. It doesn't really matter because the Fenrir bike will move faster than all of them, and it's just so frustrating to be just riding around and all of a sudden some guy in a bike comes up and he's just faster than you for no reason because he spent $30 on a bike that just moves faster because it just does. It's stupid. It shouldn't be that way. Just come on. Anyways, it doesn't matter anymore now because we can all fly and it doesn't matter. Everything moves at the same speed when it flies. But come next expansion, you better believe your butts that there's just gonna be a ton of people on their Fenrir bikes moving faster than you, unless you also spend money on a Fenrir bike to move just as fast for no reason. I hate it. It should change. They should nerf its speed or buff every other mount's speed to be the same speed. Every mount should be the same speed. Okay, well, honestly, that was the most frustrating thing about early access for me. It wasn't the queues. It wasn't the queues. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. The little audio bug I had was pretty frustrating. But amongst all of the frustrating things, that stood out the most to me as being just absolute crap, and it shouldn't be in the game, honestly. Like, come on. Okay. Just like Just had to go on a tangent there. I'm sorry. It had to happen. Just come on, man. What the hell? Alright, I'm still logged in, so I figured, yeah, let's do some roulettes. My throat's okay for the time being. I actually want to really level some. My couple of my healers. Leveling is on tanks right now. I'll wait until it switch over to healer, but Expert and Alliance are on healer right now, so. I think Scholar and Astrologian are like at the same spot, right? Yeah, basically. So, we'll do Alliance raids. I think I'd rather go on Astrologian for time being, so we'll do that. No, they all changed! We'll wait a couple minutes. I just realized what this weapon looks like. What is this? It's like a square. This is from, this is the weapon from the 85 dungeon, right? Yeah. This is a very weird looking thing. I mean, it looks neat, but I don't like that. I have my Lux on me? I do. I'll just use my Lux. There we go. Throw that back in there. Anything changed? Nope, still tanks. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Leveling went back into rotation for healers, so I just waited until that happened. I want the materia, man. It's free materia. Serious. Oh, look, we got the dungeon. Yeah, what the hell? Why not? This is the most ideal situation for us. Oh, I guess I should. Ah, what the hell? Like, most of the people have probably already done this story, but I mean, spoilers, because I can't control what the hell comes up in roulette. Alright. Oh god, I have so much I want to say about Astrologian, but I'll save it. There's so many buttons to press on Astrologian now too. It's so, like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, maybe it's because I'm out of practice with Astrologian, but I played Astrologian a lot in Shadowbringers too, and it just feels even more so, like, bloated than usual. I don't know. Like, I like the fact that, Minor Arcana came back, like the old one from Stormblood, kinda. But also, it's like, it's just another button we have to press, and it's like, you could have just worked getting a Minor Arcana card into a different ability. I don't know. It just feels like it has maybe one or two more abilities than it probably should have. I hope this guy uses some cooldowns, because goddamn. You gonna use anything, pal? Well, I mean, there's that, I guess. Oh, camouflage. Everything is saved. No, actually, camouflage isn't that bad, honestly. It's fine. No melee. I don't know. Should I give this to the tank, I guess? Might as well. Yeah, man. Enemies hit surprisingly hard in this dungeon. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be that surprising, because, like, Bardom's Metal in the past. Even Shisui hit pretty hard. But I guess it shouldn't be that surprising. And who knows, maybe this guy's just a little ungeared for here too. I haven't bothered to check. But I guess better safe than sorry, right? I mean, look at these auto attacks, man. There's just literally two enemies and they're hitting him for... They're just chunking him. I'm literally having to spam Benefit to keep him alive. Holy shit. Already used it. Alright. Oh, sweet, another another Lady of the Crowns. Hell yeah. I'll use it right here. Oh yeah, baby. And where's your Art of Corundum, man? That's like your best ability. Art of Corundum, by the way, is just ridiculous. I mean, all of them except TBN. TBN's just like TBN didn't get anything special, but all of the things for all of the upgrades for the tank's short-term cooldowns, Holy Sheltron, Heart of Corundum, and Bloodwetting for Warrior. All of them are so ridiculously strong now. It's actually insane. Oh, baby, another Heart of the Lady of Crowns. Man, this looks like, honestly, I mean, it's nice that they brought it back so we have like something else to you know, get some random chance back into the job, but also it's like they didn't need to bring it back. I wasn't too overly attached to Minor Arcana that they needed to bring it back, but they did, so you know, good for them, I guess. This guy's just not using Heart of Corundum? Like, holy shit, that's like such a good ability. Use it. Maybe he's just using it at random. I don't know. But it even has like, it has like a 900 potency heal on it too. It's really good. I probably shouldn't have wasted this, honestly. I probably should have kept it for the trash. Oh well. It'll come back off cooldown. You can just have this, I guess. Well, it's a good thing I just drew the Lady of Crowns. Ah, yeah, heal saved, baby. I'm memeing on Lady of the Crowns, but honestly, like, it's not that bad. You know, maybe there's a situation where you're just out of abilities on Astrologian. I don't know how you run out of abilities on Astrologian, but you're in a situation where you're just completely out of abilities, and you get a Lady of the Crowns, and it saves you having to cast Aspect to Helios, and you get another Fall Malefic. So it works out, right? Which the potency on Lord of Crowns is 250 as well. Well, so on a single target, it's technically not a DPS loss in that very specific scenario. I don't know, man. It's just so weird. You want the balance? You can have the balance, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, baby. We finally got the Lord of Crowns. I like Gravity 2's animation too. Like, I didn't mind Gravity 1's animation that much, but pretty neat. I don't mind it. Alright. Using a rush, I guess. I mean, this guy's got like some 80s stuff. He's like averagely geared. I don't know. I guess things just hit really hard. It's weird. I did this on Sage and White Mage, and I've done it on Scholar like at least once. This is my first time doing it on an Astrologian. I don't know why it feels like everything's hitting so hard. And it's not like he's not using cooldowns. Like he's cycling cooldowns from time to time. So I don't know. I don't know what's up. Where are you going, man? Where are you going, man? I hate tanks who do this, by the way. It's just like, are you that, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you running away? The thing's not dead yet. Oh, shit, baby. Damn, dude. Guy's getting chunked. He's even got like he's got tactician and whatchamacallit up. What is that? What's it called? Nebula. There's Heart of Corundum. That's what it looks like, I think. Hey man, you'll be fine. I got Collective Unconscious. And Horoscope. That's the thing, I just feel like if there's just one less ability on Astrologian, it'd be so much better. Because it just feels like I just don't have enough buttons the way that my controller hotbars are set up to fit everything that I want to fit. And Astrologian's really the only job I feel like that about. Like, everything else, I feel like I can fit everything in a place I want it to be. Except for Astrologian. Which is unfortunate, because I really like Astrologian. Ooh, the balance. Should I give this to you? I honestly, like... I mean, technically, the math checks out. It's what I should be doing with it. Okay, game. I like how that hit all three of us. It was just like, collectively it decided to screw all of us. Even though we were I mean, on my screen, we were there. So I don't understand. Also, that's a nasty dot. Yeah, we're fine, I guess. Alright, don't get knocked into the bubbles. It's gonna do a stack AoE here in a bit. I'm gonna go in early this time. Get me in the bubble! I wonder why it doesn't freaking count. Ah, look, it hit all three of them again. Look at this. It's a nasty dot. Holy shit, look at this dot. I mean, it's a dot on top of a Vuln stack. That's probably why it hits. It ticks so hard. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I'd leveled all my trust to 90 in like the first week. That's how I got this 7 Dawn title. Trusts? I don't know, man. I kind of miss Reen. I miss Reen in like her 20-second, her 20-second trick attack. Like, I like Estinian. He's a cool dude. He's a swole dude, but I don't know, man. I miss Reen. See, there's just so many buttons to press, man. Why are we doing improv right here? What? Weren't even in range of the tank. Like, normally I'm all in for that, but you gotta hit the tank with that. Like, that's the person you want to hit. Maybe I'm just spoiled by how little damage Thancred takes. But again, I've done these before. I've done these in the Duty Finder. I don't know why. Did they buff the enemies in here in between dungeon runs? Like, I don't know. And again, I looked at this guy's gear. It's totally, like, acceptable for this dungeon range. It's not like he's wearing, like, level 70 stuff or anything. It's all, like, 80 plus. I don't know, man. And you figure I'd be having an easier time in here as an Astrologian than I would on, like, Sage or Scholar. Generally speaking. Man, I hit it too early. I hate that. Do I get 2 charges of Celestial? Isn't that, like, it's probably 88. Oh boy, Lady of the Crowns, let's go. Damn. Well, improv. Why improv? Why improv? Why are we doing improv? I mean, I guess it's fine. I mean, he was still available to hit. That's why I was asking. Like, not necessarily a terrible thing to do. I keep forgetting about Earthly Start. So many buttons to press. And some people might really like that, but sometimes it's just like... Sometimes less is more, you know what I mean? Whoa, you have a dot too, what the hell? Oh, you must have gotten hit into the wall. Dude, I just keep getting melee cards. I forgot to use the best ability. Lady of the Crowns. Hey look, I got a little bit of the crowns. I don't want that shit on Lady. Oh, I forgot I get those. Do I need any of this stuff? Do I have this? Don't. Look at that. Do I have this? I do. Oh, he's gone. Alright. Well, bye, I guess. That was rough, man. I don't know why I was getting hit so hard. Okay, Alliance Raid next. This so happens to be healer in need. Look at there. Look at that. I didn't even have to wait. Please don't be Labyrinth of the Ancients. I'm so sick of Labyrinth of the Ancients. Literally, please be any of the other 11 raids it could be. I'm just so sick of it. Like, I'm fine with Circus Tower and World of Darkness still. Like, those ones are actually, like, fine. Like, they're not super fun. But at least Circus Tower is kind of fast and World of Darkness has a couple of neat mechanics. But I'm just so sick of Labyrinth of the Ancients. People don't stay on the pads. People don't go to their pads for Ancient Flare. I'm just so sick of it. Stop. Please. I mean, to be fair, I will be getting those little crystal things from there. Like, I still have a weapon quest activated, so I've just been getting these constantly. Time Worn artifacts though are just freaking like, they need a buff to drop rates in Palace of the Dead, man. God dang. Like, I wouldn't mind of doing more. Like, I only finished one weapon. Technically, I have enough to finish a second one because I have 15 of these. But I only finished one. No, I finished 2 weapons. That's right, because I did Dancer and Machinist. But I have enough to finish the third one. But just, the thought of doing more just makes me... I don't want to. I love the Circus Tower. At least it's quick. Also, I'll put on my Minfina earring. People always forget to do that. If you're doing any content that's level 80 or below, you can still get a bonus, even if you're synced. I'm putting on the earring. Not that it will matter that much at level 50 content, but hey man, extra XP is extra XP. That's like a third of a fate that I don't have to do now. I'm still recording. Okay, good. Wouldn't that be a hoot? This is one time I recorded for like 4 hours and I didn't realize that I didn't actually hit the record button. So technically I wasn't recording for 4 hours. I was just talking to myself like an idiot for 4 hours for no reason. To be fair, like, I talk to myself all the time. Not like as consistently as I do when I'm recording. Like, I make the conscious effort to talk out loud. But sometimes you just, you know, you can't help it. If you want to sound more natural talking to yourself, you just kind of have to practice it. And I have a ton of practice, purposefully or otherwise, of talking to myself. At least we have some. Guy just overwrit my divination. Good to see that double Astrologian is still horrible as shit. One thing that always irks me about healing Alliance raids is that you'll clearly see that they could have rebalanced the healers so that we wouldn't get stuff like double Astrologian or double Scholar. Because right now, Alliance C has double Scholar. You could have just swapped one of the Scholars with one of us so that each one had one Scholar and one Astrologian, and we wouldn't be running into this problem, you know what I mean? But nope, here we frickin' are. It's getting really upset about this. It's Circus Tower, it doesn't really matter, but it's still really annoying. Also, I remember talking about this prior to Endwalker, because they said, oh yeah, we'll make a differentiation between barrier healers and pure healers. I was like, is that gonna work in the duty finder? And everyone was like, yeah, probably. It doesn't, because I mean, proof right here. It doesn't. You still get double barrier or double pure in the duty finder. It's just that in the party finder you can make a differentiation now if you want to. You don't have to. Oh yeah, baby, the triple solar. Let's go. Freaking hate life. This is the first time that's happened to me. This whole expansion, by the way. Like, it's like exceedingly rare that you get into a situation where you're stuck with 3 of the same seal. That's the first time it's ever happened to me. Like, at least, you usually at least get 2. Like, the statistics are not in favor of getting 3 of the same. But wow. That's pretty impressive, honestly. I'm gonna wait until this other guy casts his divination first, because he's not casting it though, so I don't know what he's waiting for. So I'm gonna cast mine, and he's gonna cast his immediately after. Oh no, he hasn't used it yet. Look at that. Sorry for doubting you, random Astrologian. Oh, maybe it's because he's frozen. I don't know how long he's been frozen. Where's this black mage? I hate it. Where are you, dude? Where the hell are you in the back? Dude, this is why they need to make AoE heals on healers 20 ohms. For these specific situations where you just have that one rogue DPS who's just in the corner of the arena. It's a circle. Circles don't have corners, but you know what I mean. They're on the edge of the arena, away from everyone else for no reason, and your AoE heals just won't hit them. That's just one of the nice things about Medica too. It's 20 yalms, and it's just been 20 yalms for no reason, and every other AoE heal is 15 yalms. I don't know why, it's just how it's always been. But Medica 2 is always at that edge because it makes it just slightly easier to hit everyone. And it's usually only really a problem in these alliance raids because the arenas are usually bigger than usual. Although I guess it can be kind of a problem in just normal trial raids as well. Normal raids and trials, I mean. He cast it already. Probably don't need a second epic Helios. Damn it. See, look, I missed these two. They're not even that far away. Actually, I don't know where they are. Okay, he's up there, so that makes sense that he didn't get it, I guess. I don't know why I combusted it. It's not gonna have enough time to take. Dude, you see all those people up there who are doing nothing? Really helping out the team. God, I always find the smallest things to complain about. When you're an introvert, you just naturally have a just innate ability to nitpick people, to find things to not dislike about them. It's probably not an introvert thing. It's probably just me being a jerk. That's literally it. Would you just give me the arrow, dude? What? You know, maybe he's a new Astrologian. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. It's fine. Everyone's got to learn somewhere, and why not in the content where it's like it doesn't really matter too much if you mess up. To be honest, I'm like, I play up how much I actually like get irritated by smallest. It doesn't really bother me that much. If I'm being completely honest. I just play it up for the vid. Like, usually, I'm totally cool with people, like, just doing random stuff. It's usually more amusing than it is actually frustrating. Unless it's, like, a tank and they're just not using their cooldowns, and it's just making life harder for me as a healer. That is genuinely frustrating, but for the most part, like, especially in content like this, where it's like, it doesn't even matter if you mess up that much. It's whatever, like, who cares? We're not sitting here trying to get freaking clear in a savage raid or anything. It's just like small, simple stuff. I forgot to roll on these. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm so happy, by the way, that they buffed the amount of crystals your retainers can get. Because I'm pretty sure it used to be like 40 or 60 crystals. Now it's like 120. Which is really nice, because, like, wind crystals are ridiculously expensive. Like, all the time. Like, I get why they're expensive, because for some reason they're using just more crafts than other crystals are. Just for some reason, I don't understand why, really. Man, we didn't beat the second dive bomb thing. Just gonna hold on to these cards. No, stay in range for gravity. I don't even know if I'm in range for gravity. Ow. How are both of these casters are just never in range of AoE heals? Like, come on. Like, every time one of us casts Aspect of Helios, I just notice that they don't get the regen. It's hilarious. Alright, can I cast this? Are you gonna override it? Just give me a card again? Another melee card. You remember when we had Stella? to put heavy on enemies? Oh shit, please don't silence us. Oh no. Oh shit. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not dispelling that. It's gonna go away in 3 seconds. Holy crap, a bomb. I haven't seen a bomb appear in forever. What the hell? Our DPS must be really low. Ow. I don't know if I can dispel other people's stuff. I've never tried that, actually. I've never tried to dispel another person's debuff. Like in another part. Okay. Well, look. You guys did this to yourself. If you die, it is your fault. Just no one's killing ads. Yo, maybe move, dude. Maybe move. Are we all? Nope. Black mage is over there. Rip black mage. Oh, that wasn't the black mage. Oh, there was an ice over there. I just didn't see it. Oh, look at that. Rip gunbreaker. No, man. Could have waited a few seconds for that divination, man. I get it, I know. The average player isn't looking at their party buffs to not overlap with random people they meet in the duty finder. It happens. Please don't kill me. Oh, wow, how did you survive? He has like 4,000 health. How did he survive that? Maybe he got hit by something else that wasn't the earthquake. It's about to... Yep. God dang it. You'd figure by, like, I knew it was happening, so I did know. My brain, it's just like, I knew he was jumping. Look, man. My mind was still blown that that black mage survived the earthquake somehow, but he took damage, so he got hit by something. I don't know what. Maybe he had mana ward up, and that saved him. I better not die from this. Woo! And we leveled up. good. I don't need any of this stuff. Oh, okay. Anything else we want to do for the day? Not especially. I think I could do the rest on my own time. My throat's actually been doing not so hot. I mean, I've been doing this kind of like in chunks, so it's actually not been too bad, but I think overall general fatigue's just starting to get to me, and it's late, so I'm gonna get my wind crystals and I'm gonna head out. But this was fun. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff soon. I'll try again tomorrow. Probably finish leveling up Astrologian or Scholar. I want to get these leveled up definitely before the new patch. Yeah, I'm pretty close, so 66, 60, or 86, 87. So that shouldn't take too long. The leveling dungeon, they buffed the XP on the leveling dungeons. It's like 50% increase after that patch, so it's really nice. So, of course, I leveled all of my trust before they buffed the EXP in the dungeon. So, I'm very well aware of how long it took before the buffs, and I'm very happy that they buffed them after I was done with them. In trust, anyway. But yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm 87, so I can equip my 87 stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Do I have an 87 globe? I do. Look at this. Look at this. That's... I actually kind of like that. It's got like metallic roses and stuff on there. Kind of neat. It's a little blocky, but it's not like Endwalker great blocky, you know what I mean? So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm still recovering a little bit, so a little bit of a shorter video today. And also, the first part of this video was just like random ramblings. I apologize. I'm gonna chalk that up to being sick still. I know my thoughts were like all over the place, so I apologize for that, but I'm still gonna post it. And obviously, if you made it this far, you probably already watched and listened to it, because it's weird to just skip through a video with no timestamps and just make it to the end of it and be like, hey, I'm at the end of the video without any timestamps. So, you know, I want to go now because I'm getting delirious. Sayonara. Bye-bye.